We were saddened today finding out that Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna were involved in a helicopter crash that also involved 7 other people, and there were no survivors. And honestly, I'm at loss of words for this just happening so suddenly, because we just had a positive vibe yesterday with LeBron James passing Kobe Bryant on the all-time scoring list, and Kobe Bryant sending out a tweet congratulating him, saying, "You deserve this." The cerebral assassin was such a legend in the city of Los Angeles, but just in the NBA world globally, he was just an icon. And to see him go out like this at such a young age, at the age of 41, it's honestly so heartbreaking. I want to send my condolences and my thoughts and prayers out to the Bryant family and all the friends that were, all his family friends and the rest of the people that were involved, because I don't know what to say. A lot of people were a lot of families were hurt today, and he leaves a legacy behind. 20 years in the books as a Los Angeles Laker. He was just starting the second half of his life. He dedicated 20 years of his life to us NBA fans, gave his heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears, all of it, left it all on the court. Whether it was those championship runs or the bad years that he had in a Lakers uniform, whether it was the torn Achilles, the torn meniscus, the messed up rotator cuff, the broken finger, it didn't matter. You knew the man was an assassin, a killer, and he was making no excuses when he came to playing basketball. And the things we complain about nowadays with the load management, resting, and just all those things, all those situations, like Kobe Bryant was completely against that. He doesn't sit out for injuries. He never did. And a guy like that inspired so many people around the world to pick up a basketball or just be motivated on what they want to do. And even after he was retired, he went on to write a Dear Basketball piece, and he won an Oscar for that, for the animated video that they made for that piece. And he was on a New York Times bestseller. This man was just a genius overall. And I know that people only might know him for basketball, but if you've been keeping up with him after his post-career, he's still killing stuff. He's still that Mamba mentality. You know what? No one can tell me what I can or cannot do. I'll do whatever I want, whenever I want, and you'll see. And that type of stuff is very inspiring to see. And the man came in as a high school student into the NBA at the age of 17, and he didn't get the playing time he deserved at the beginning. He was the 13th overall pick, got drafted by Charlotte, and Charlotte traded him to Charlotte traded him to Los Angeles because Jerry West saw something that no one else did. And they're like, I want that guy, and they got him. And he ended up becoming one of the greatest Lakers of all time, if not the greatest Laker of all time. And you see the Hall of Famers all around the world, Scottie Pippen, Magic Johnson, Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal. All these guys are out here sending out tweets, devastated, still in shock. Some of them do not even believe that this actually happened. I know for a fact that I didn't believe it. I thought it was fake news. TMZ broke the news early before anyone else could, and no one had any idea of what was happening. This crash happened outside of Calabasas, I believe, and everyone thought this was fake because in your eyes, when you look at Kobe, he's a legend. He's an icon. You don't think legends die like that. this felt for me. Kobe Bryant I wasn't his biggest fan, but I respected him and his game, and the type of human being he was. But for me, this kind of reminded me of when Paul Walker died. For some reason, that's the type of impact it had on me. I was a fan of from afar, not the biggest fan, but I respected them as people and for how good they were at the craft that they had, you know? So I'm just sad for his family. Like 20 years given to us, finally starting to, do stuff with his family, and he's taken away at the age of 41. He was going with his daughter to a basketball game and something that he loved. He was getting his daughter into that Mamba mentality, growing her and showing her how the game was. And this happens. He was an 18-time This is hard. He was an 18-time AllStar, a 5-time NBA champion, a 2-time Finals MVP, a 1-time regular season MVP, a 2-time Olympic Gold Medalist, and a 15-time All-NBA. He has all these accolades. He left all this behind, but for him, family mattered most. And he's not going to get to see his daughters grow up. He's leaving behind 3 daughters, 3 beautiful daughters, and a beautiful wife. And as LeBron James was talking so much about this guy in such a positive way last night after the game against Philadelphia, and saying how Kobe inspired him because he inspired to be like him because Kobe was the first one to come out of high school straight into the NBA, and he did the same thing. LeBron came out of high school, and LeBron also said Kobe gave him some shoes to wear in a game in high school where he was about to play Carmelo's team, and the shoes were a size 14. LeBron was a size 15, and he's still like, I don't care, and he fit himself in there in those shoes and played the game. And what MJ was to Kobe is what Kobe was to LeBron. People will always try to put them against each other, try to list everyone as who's the greatest of all time. Why does it matter? They all kind of played in different eras. No one played each other at their primes. So why does it matter? Why don't we just give the respect to those players and let's respect what they did instead of trying to compare everybody? They're all greats. They're all GOATs in their own way. And Kobe showed that last night when he dropped that tweet saying, bro, you deserve all of this. Keep doing what you're doing. And as soon as LeBron went to the Lakers and joined the Lakers team, Kobe's like, bro, you're part of family now. Whatever you need, I got you. That's the relationship they had. They had a brotherhood. They were brothers for real. Shaq, I saw his tweet today. He's emotional, sick to his stomach for something like this to come out of nowhere and happen. My boy Bills, the biggest Lakers fan, the biggest Kobe fan I know, is hurting right now. And if you're watching this, bro, if you're listening to this podcast, I hope you're doing all right. I feel for you, bro. I feel for you. His daughter was only 14 years old, born in 2006, and she passes away in 2020. Kobe, like I said, 1978. Oh, my God. I just wanted to pay my respects to him. Say my condolences, my thoughts and prayers to the families that were affected today. And I just hope everyone who's affected by this thinks about the good moments that Kobe left with us, with all the highlights, all the championships. If you're a Lakers fan, I know for a fact I'm gonna cherish that 81-point game that he torched the Raptors with. That used to be something that people used to laugh about, but Jalen Rose said it today. He was like, I'm gonna appreciate that now because I was a part of greatness. Even though he was already a part of greatness before, now it's like he's happy he was there because the legend himself is gone too soon. don't know. I don't even know how to end this video. I just needed to do this. I need to let it out because seeing all this before the game and all the games that happened after, just seeing everyone dribble out the clock, like it really didn't hit me until the actual NBA program started putting it out, and all the people that I listen to, the analysts that are usually on like the NBA Game Time and NBA on the ESPN, like when they started talking about it and it was highlighted on the screen, that's when I believed it, and that's when it sunk in. When DeRozan and Kyle Lowry came together and talked about running out the 24-second clock to pay tribute to Kobe Bryant, both teams, San Antonio ran out the 24 seconds, and then the Raptors did it first, and then San Antonio. But a lot of teams were doing it around the NBA. I think some teams even did like a 8-second backcourt to represent his old number. You saw Tyson Chandler on the bench. If anyone watched the Rockets game, Tyson Chandler was crying on the bench. Russell Westbrook was trying to hold it in. Norman Powell, you could see, I definitely thought he cried. I mean, when he was shooting outside on the court, it looked like he cried prior to it. They shut down the locker rooms for the Raptors and San Antonio game for a bit. And honestly, I thought they might have canceled all the games just because it was a big deal just to come out of nowhere. But I understand why they all had to play, because it was kind of like last minute, and cutting off all the games was probably like nearly impossible. Was going to be nearly impossible to do. But everyone dropped tribute videos. Everyone dropped posts. The Raptors and the Spurs dropped a tribute video with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, all talking about how much of a killer Kobe was, and no matter if you're up 20 or down 10, and I'm talking about Kobe, even if he's up 20 or down 10, he's going to kill you. And you always going to have to be careful with him, because he can go off at any moment, and he's had games time and time again where he's went off on so many teams. That 2006 MVP season, he was dropping 50, 60 every night, basically. That was like something special to watch. And that was the same year he dropped the 81 points on the Raptors. And I think the Raptors commentators, the analysts, Leo Routins, was dropping a story saying he talked to Kobe after the game, saying, was there anything that they could have done differently to stop you? And Kobe's like, nah, I'm 6'7", I'm athletic. There was nothing anyone could have done to stop me that night. And that's just who he was. That's him in a nutshell, straight. Just a guy that just didn't give a shit. And that's what made him have the career he did. And I salute him for everything he's accomplished. During his career in the NBA and post-career with the Oscar-winning, he got the Oscar-winning, trophy. But yeah, that's going to do it for now. I just had so much on my mind, and I just had to speak. I just had to speak straight to the mic, straight to you guys, and just let you know what I thought about what happened. Just take a moment and give a hug, give a kiss. Stay close to your loved ones, because you never know when their time is up. And honestly, this happening right now really puts everything into perspective. Straight up, like, you just never know whose time's up. And cherish every moment. Don't let a moment go by where you let hate overcome love, overtake love. Love before hate, always. Remember that. And that's how I'm going to end this off. But yeah, I'm going to be back for my next podcast. So stay blessed, stay woke, show love, and no hate. Peace!